What's up, guys? It's Mian. I am back with another video. This is being filmed the night of July 6th. But this video is probably not going to go up until sometime next week. So it's time to get back to the Monster Jam World Finals rescores, and it's time to do Monster Jam World Finals 11. And let me just cut to the chase. And still, your World Finals 11 freestyle champion, Charlie Pawkin, and the Monster Mutt. Because honestly, nobody was going to take this from him. He balled out. He was the only one to do what you needed to do with that track. He hit everything. He had massive air. He was one of the few guys to hit the backside of the center jump. He just had all the air, couple of great saves, just an incredible run altogether. And it is said that up to that point, Pawkin was one of, if not the greatest driver to never win a World Finals title, and he pulled it off. He got it done. Now, that's not to discredit anybody else in the competition because there were some other great runs. George Ballhand and Escalade came out, and after the first few trucks had broke early, he managed to put on a great run that gave him a 31 IRL. I gave him a 33. Remember, this is regulation and bonus time. The funny thing is so many drivers hit 20. It seems like the ceiling in regulation was a 26, and it all just depended on what you got in bonus time up until Monster Mutt broke through. I actually have Iron Man. I actually gave Iron Man a better score than what he got originally. Um, his total IRL ended up being a 25. I ended up giving him a 31. Um, so yeah, I think that's interesting. I think Iron Man was a little underrated this year, with Leo Dono and Freestyle. Um, but the top two remain the same, Monster Mutt and Escalade. Monster Mutt, I docked 1 point, but again, nobody was gonna catch him. Nobody was gonna top him. Um, I have Air Force Afterburner finishing fourth, Avenger finishing fifth, and honestly, again, I gave him a 30, whereas IRL he got a 25. And honestly, I think that if Avenger hadn't broke late in his run, and if he was able to do bonus time, not only does he get a better score, but it puts her in it. He could have held the lead for a little while, or at least been tied with George Ballhan, which would have been funny considering that the following year he ends up tied with Northern Nightmare for the freestyle win. In this case, he'd be tied for second, but still. Stone Crusher had another great freestyle, although I bumped him down a little bit. Actually, no, I didn't. He got bumped down in the standings, but I actually gave him another point to what his original score was. It's just that other drivers ended up better than him. But Steve Sims showing that consistency. If you were to make a top 10 greatest drivers to never win a World Finals title, I think he's an underrated shout out for such a list, specifically because he never did that great in racing, but he was almost always consistent in freestyle, um, and did really well. It's crazy to think though, because once you get past 11th in overall points, the point standings for this freestyle event, um, both IRL and in my rescore, there's a big drop off from points by about 10 or so to the driver in 12th. Um, which is pretty crazy if you ask me. But again, like I said in the end, Pawkin, he was the best on this night. Nobody was better than him. Nobody was going to catch him. Nobody was going to top him. He did it the best. He deserved to win, and he won. And this is probably the easiest one to do because you go into it knowing, yeah, he's going to win. And it's all a matter of, does he keep the 39? Does he get docked a little bit? Does he get a higher score? And basically it's really about who's competing for second. But it's crazy because if you take Hawkins' run out of this one, George Ballhan gets his first and only World Finals freestyle title, which is crazy because he's another driver who's on that list of the 10 best drivers to never win a World Finals title. Um, he was usually good in racing. Freestyle was always hit or miss, but this was probably one of, if not his best freestyle run. And just like some others in other years, he came up short. So, with that being said, World Finals 12 is next. The tiebreaker between Avenger and Northern Nightmare. Will that stand? In which case, who wins? You'll have to find out. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so you don't miss out on future videos and streams. I will catch you all next time. Peace.